first real video about sim racing, the topic of my channel. I'm going to be doing an unboxing of this cockpit, the Next Level Racing FGT. Now, I don't have even a wheel or pedals yet, so this is really going to be the first gear of my sim racing equipment I'm doing an unboxing for. I hope to have my wheels and pedals shipping soon. I've already ordered some gear from Fanatic. I've ordered the entry level, the CSL Elite set, plus the load cell brake. And the load cell brake is the real reason I ended up getting this cockpit, because I'm not going to be able to use that just sitting in an office chair. Let's go ahead and get started with an unboxing and see what we have here. So first impression opening the box, everything looks to be packed really well. This looks to be the back kind of bolster. Got a smell to it. Not a bad smell, just a smell. So it's covered in like a felt kind of cloth. Seems decent, has a strap to attach it to the seat. Next Level Racing logo. This is the seat back, covered in, kind of a plastic leather. Feels pretty good. It's very, very solid, very heavy. Has 3 mount points here on the side. GT logo on the back. Next Level Racing logo on the front. Next item here is the seat bottom. Awesome, substantial, heavy. Has the metal bars here. Now this is attached really crooked. I hope that that's how it's supposed to be. Or, I think it's just one side is. Well, we'll take a look at that when we put it together. Maybe one side just needs to move forward or backward with the adjustment. Just needs loosened a little bit to do that. Open this one up. So I just finishing opening up the box here, get it cut all open, take out each piece. So the first piece here is the front plate, and this is the support post, and the wheel support bars, the pedal mount, the instruction book, and the bolts and nuts are packaged really well. More wheel support bars and floor posts. The seat mount pieces here, the side frames, nice and sturdy. So just to get started here with the assembly, step 1 is to take the side frames and attach them to the floor post using one 16mm bolt each. Be sure to use a washer on these bolts. In fact, every step throughout the whole process, be sure you use a washer with every bolt. Step 2 is to attach the front plate to the side post with two 50mm bolts on each side. Step 3 is to attach the support post to the floor post using one 50mm bolt on each side. Definitely have a washer. The position you place it depends on if you want a GT or a formula mount. I, for my setup, want a GT mount, so that's why I'm placing it here in the front. If you want a formula mount, you place it all the way at the back. Step 4 is to attach the seat side frames to the seat base. You use four 16mm bolts on each side. And already attached to it is this dual nut plate, so be sure to take that off, place it inside the seat, and then place the frames on the outside. Again, use the washers for this. Step 5 is to attach the Engel mounts to the seat base. Use two 16mm bolts on each side. The piece with the Engel in it attaches to the seat base on the inside. and the straight piece attaches to that first piece on the outside. I went ahead and made these really tight at this point, but that actually made it more difficult to attach the seat in later. So I think I would recommend to not attach it too tight at this point. Step 6 is to attach the seat to the Engel mounts with 3 16mm bolts on each side. Now these bolts are already in the seat, so you first have to remove them to use them. I had a difficult time getting the seat back installed. In the end, what I found the best to do was get the 2 upper bolts installed into the seat back, then use the recline adjustment knob to make sure it was lined up, and then the bottom bolt went in really smooth through all plates. This is step 10 for the GT assembly. There's lots of different pieces to do here. So the first thing you have to do is attach the wheel support bars to the side frame using 2 60mm bolts on each side. Again, be sure to use the washers. Then you attach the wheel plate to the wheel support bars using 2 50mm bolts on each side. Then you attach the GT seat supports to the last hole using 2 60mm bolts on each side. Again, don't forget the washers. Now you're supposed to attach the pedal plate, and here I got pretty confused because the graphic shows it with the Formula mount pedal plate, but the picture shows it with the GT mount pedal plate, and there aren't really clear instructions for what you're supposed to do. So the Engel pedal mount is only used for the Formula style mount, and if you want the GT style mount, you can just directly attach the pedal plate to the front plate. Here you can see why I emphasize on the washers on every bolt. I didn't realize this until the very end, and I had to go back and take off many of the bolts and add on a washer where it wasn't already included. So I really want to save you from that difficulty. So if you watch this video, heed me from the very beginning, washer on every single bolt. By this point, I figured out what was going on with the pedal plate and decided just to mount it directly to the front plate for the GT assembly. Step 11 is to attach the seat for GT assembly. There are 2 60mm bolts in each corner. I would recommend putting them on like you would lug nuts for a wheel, starting at one corner, going across so that you get it even and square all the way around. There are feet on the bottom, so if you have an uneven floor, you can install the 8 feet. 2 in the front, 4 here in the middle, and then 2 at the back. You can adjust the seat back. So this comes out, and there are 3 holes on the inside and 3 holes on the outside. So you can adjust that, really fine adjustment points. So you do multiple combinations. You can put any hole on the inside to any hole on the outside and line that up how you want it. The bolts on the pedals here, these should actually have been the shortest bolts, the 15mm bolts. Didn't really see any use for them in the book. It wasn't really mentioned because it only talked about the GT mount. But I mean, it only talked about the Formula mount, sorry. But for the GT mount, you can use the shortest 15mm bolts here. 50mm bolts that I had used actually go back here for the butt kicker to be attached. If you have a butt kicker. The shifter can be mounted on the right or left side, so I've got it set up for a right side shifter. But like I said before, I don't have one, so I'm not going to install that for now. So it comes with these felt straps. They're sticky on the back. Now it says you can put these straps under these pieces, the support bars. Now that will make them more difficult to slide. In fact, it says basically they won't slide at all. But that's for extra rigidity, if that's what you're after. So if you want the most stable steering wheel base, you can slide these under there, stick them on the top of this, underneath this, and have a more stable base. Okay, and my last hope with the seat was I would be able to fit in this closet when I'm not using it. I do play other PC games. I want to have my regular office chair. If I open this up, slide into the closet, and it just barely fits. Okay, so you may notice that it's strange for a person to go ahead and get a cockpit, especially such a nice one as this, as the Next Level Racing FGT, when they don't even have a wheel or pedals yet. Well, I do have the wheel and pedals on the way. I have ordered from Fanatic the CSL Elite set plus the load cell kit. So I needed a cockpit to be able to use the load cell. That's why I went ahead and got this. Also, this cockpit has capability to work with a direct drive wheelbase. Now, I don't know that I'll get there in the future, but if I ever do get to direct drive wheelbase, I know that I already have the capability to use it without farther needing additional upgrades. Also, the main reason that I jumped for this FGT over something more basic like the Playseat Challenge or any other less expensive cockpit there is, I was looking through the authorized sellers list on Next Level Racing's website. I clicked to each website to see what the price was. They were all the same except the website provantage.com. So I got a great price for this on provantage.com. Not sponsored or anything. It's just looks like they had a good price, and that was enough for me to buy it. So hopefully if you check it out too, you'll find a great deal there as well.